What's up, dudes? We're gonna bring you a video here on my first impressions with HDZERO. Um, I do have the goggles. I bought the goggles initially because all the footage I've seen of people flying analog with these goggles, and it was just amazing to see how it upscaled the point of view. And I've been rocking the Fat Shark Dominators V2 like since they came out. So it was time to upgrade a set of goggles, and these were just so versatile. I was just like, why not? You know what I mean? With all the good features that it's got with it. And again, the main thing was that how it the way it works with the analog feed and everything, which I had no plan in doing the little side module deal. It was just running the AV line into it and use analog separately on the tripod still. Just basically just using the goggles, attaching it to my ground station, and it works well. I mean, my first flight I've done with them was with my Nano Baby 20 here just around the yard, and I was just blown away at how it upscaled the image. Everything just looked so much clearer on analog through these goggles. So I have been contacted by a couple different of my followers and friends that run HDZERO, and it was like, dude, you got to try the video transmitter. You got the goggles, you might as well go ahead and try the video transmitter on something. And it's been, as you guys know, to me, it's like crazy paying $100 just for a video transmitter. You know what I mean? When you can buy a camera and a video transmitter for the same price of analog. But I went ahead anyway and bit the bullet, and I bought the Freestyle V2, and I bought this quad just for a test platform, just for the HDZERO V2 Freestyle VTX. And I thought and still think that I got a couple of tricks up my sleeves to potentially get to squeeze just a little bit more range out of it than what I've been seeing people do with it. You know what I mean? But anyway, again, goggles are great. First impression with this video transmitter has been awful. Oh, where do I start? When I first got it, setting it up is extremely easy. As you guys know, you tie it into a UART, power, everything. The camera just clips on. That is the V3 micro camera. All that is just lovely, easy peasy, no soldering required. I love that. The issue that I had was when I went to flash the flight controller, I had the UART connected to the VTX. And when I did that, during the flashing process, some kind of way, it did something to the EEPROM of the video transmitter to where it wouldn't display an image. So like at first, when I first hooked it up, this quad came with like 4.4.3 or 4.3 Betaflight on it. It was working. No real issues with it at all. It was actually working. I didn't have the OSD for some reason from Betaflight, but it was working. And I ended up upgrading to 4.5, the latest Betaflight, and for some reason with this older quad, this is Crocodile Baby 5, the ESCs wouldn't work with 4.5 Betaflight. So I had to downgrade from that to 4.4.3. And then the ESC started working, everything was good. Except the video transmitter now was going to just this grayed out screen. No image, no nothing. It wasn't even picking up anything. So I had to contact HDZERO customer support, and I must say the customer support is absolutely awesome. They immediately jumped in and started helping me out to figure out what the problem was. It was absolutely painless, other than having to take the, the little connector you had to plug in the side of it to the computer, and so that little bitty plug is super duper small. You know what I mean? But that was about the biggest pain of it, and just kept doing the little. They kept sending me different files to try on the video transmitter to show whether or not if it was transmitting power and so on and so forth, yada 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 yada. And after like the fourth or fifth file they sent me to upload onto the video transmitter, it started working again. And I took it out for a test flight, and on this test flight, it was stuck in like 25 milliwatt mode or something. I couldn't get anywhere without it just blacking out. You know what I mean? So I came back home. I contacted them again, and the I can't say the guy name is GAO. Real nice customer support, y'all. You know what I mean? That I will have to say, with this being a new product, they have a very good customer support team behind it that's willing to get the problem solved. You know what I mean? If not, they'll send another unit. I had to give them credit for that. You don't see many companies that will be as supported as HDZERO has been throughout this process. But anyway, I recontacted him again, and he sent me a reset file. And as soon as I updated the flight, as soon as I updated the video transmitter with that update file, and did the unlocking process again and everything, and plugged it in here on the bench, that dude got hot so fast. I mean, it was in just a matter of seconds. So I felt like it was now transmitting full power. So I took it out to the field, and there'll be the video footage that you guys are about to see. Took it out to the field to fly it, and I was able to fly further out with it, and with this setup I'm using, which I know these are the Voss stubby antennas. These are crap, y'all. You know what I mean? These I bought these mainly just for look's sake, because I wasn't even planning on using the actual HDZERO video transmitter. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to leave nothing on it at all and have it on, with the AV inline going into it for my analog setup. So I bought these just because, and these are crap. So these was not helping me out at all in flight with the HDZERO system. Wasn't doing nothing. No kind of range with these. But with these extreme crosshairs, I was expecting to be able to get a little bit of range with the HDZERO system. And again, I don't know if this dude actually really is transmitting the power that it's supposed to be, considering what it has went through with customer support trying to figure it out, and them having to send me a special file to get it back working again. Again, that screenshot explains what they were saying about certain flight controllers send stuff to the EEPROM. You know what I mean? And it just messes everything up, and it puts in a different RF mode, is what the customer support guy was saying, and the technical support team that he has backing him, or she. But anyway, I got a RF meter coming here next week that I'm going to hook up to this dude to see if it really is pumping out 1,000 milliwatts before I move forward. But as of right now, it's flyable, it's good. I really do think it's pumping out 1,000 milliwatts right now. Again, just because the sheer heat, how fast it gets hot. But again, I could be completely wrong with that one. But these extreme crosshairs from Voss, at distance, at a half a mile out, the way this is working now with each other, these are highly directional. And you guys know I fly again with my analog, with a ground station, antennas are on the tripod. So me sitting there flying with these, having to try to hold my head in the right angle and all this and that, it sucks. It sucks. You know what I mean? Because typically when I fly quads, I'm in the vehicle when I'm flying the quad. You know, when I'm banking or leaning or whatever or not, my head's doing the same thing. That's just JD. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people do the same thing too. But that was an issue, um, big time with this, and considering, I would have to say right now, me flying in my normal field, and the way this is right now, it's almost like it's at 200 milliwatts. I would have to say but it, I could be wrong, but it feels like the power that's coming out of this dude is extremely low. But at the same time, I say that I know what other people results is. My bud's been flying HDZERO since the V1 freestyle, and I know his range is highly capped. And he's running 10 turn helicals and everything, and he's only able to get about 4 or 5 miles with HDZERO. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like my results I'm getting right now is pretty much what I should be expecting. So my take on HDZERO, the goggles, let's just take the goggles out of it. You know what I mean? The goggles are great. Analog, whatever you want to use on it, the goggles is good. The HD system itself, that is geared up for exactly what is on right now. It's meant for mini quads racing, close range. Now, I will have to say this too. I am running this in 1080 30 frames per second, and I've heard that if you run it in the 720 60 frames per second, you can get more range or more penetration out of it. I haven't tried that yet, and I will try that out soon. But HDZERO, as of right now, in my situation, it may change it pretty soon, but this is geared up for the racers. You know what I mean? And I did go ahead and buy a second video transmitter to put on the plane, but I am now thinking about selling this to one of my buds. You know what I mean? Because I just don't want to be capped on range. That won't be fun. All right, this is that footage I was telling you guys about where I felt like it was fully powered on. Again, the RF meter will be here one day next week, and I will be able to verify if it is truly pushing out 1,000 milliwatts or not. But again, just from what I've seen other people do, firsthand, my bud, my co-pilot, he uses HDZERO. He has it on planes. He has it on quads. Um, he's a long range pilot like myself, so he's got the 10 turn helicals. He knows what he's doing, and he is literally only getting 4 to 5 miles out of his setup. So, with that being said, most definitely HDZERO, they built it for racing. That is just what it's for. You know what I mean? It's not it's not meant for any kind of long range flights. It's just not at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm still going to see if I can squeeze some more range out of it. I will, as I mentioned before, I'm going to try to turn it down from that 1080 30 to 720 60 and see if I can get a little bit more range out of it and try a different set of antennas. As you can see here, the two bars on the ends, the reception signal bars, those are from the stubby antennas, the Voss stubby antennas. And as I said, they're not doing nothing for me at any kind of range. You know what I mean? This whole entire video is being picked up off of the Voss crosshairs right now, and you'll see the signal strip will kind of go up and down, and that just based depending on how I'm holding my head. You know what I mean? And I was trying to keep it straight out as possible, my head wise go, and I was playing around with it a little bit. You'll see at some points where the video will kind of get real scraggly like, and that's because I'm moving my head around trying to get the best position of it to be able to get a little bit of range out of it. You know what I mean? And again, you know, I honestly don't know if this is pumping 1,000 milliwatts or not. I feel like it do, and the reason why I said I feel like it is because previously when it was in 25 milliwatt mode and was stuck in it, it would take a while for that video transmitter to get hot. You know what I mean? And then during the process of them sending me these updates and stuff, it was stuck in, they said, 200 milliwatts mode at one point in time. And I noticed a difference in how fast it got hot. And then the last fix, when they actually resetted it and stuff, it got hot instantly. And that's why I felt like, it was maybe at 1,000 milliwatts now. You know what I mean? But anyway, we'll get all that figured out here pretty soon. But you're seeing the results and stuff. But again, I honestly, I see what the fuss is about as far as being able to fly in HD. It is really nice being able to get that high detail while you're actually flying. Like, previously with analog, which again, my Foxeer Cat 3 on the AKK video transmitter analog, to me, it looks like it's almost 720p. That's just my opinion on it. You know what I mean? But saying that and then flying with it in 1080, 30 frames per second, it's like, oh my God, yeah, it's a lot more detail in the image. You know what I mean? Like this little gravel section right there. Previous times I've flown across that little section right there, you can see the gravel, it just all kind of blends together. It looks white. But in this actual footage and flying it in actual HD, you can see the individual pebbles. That's how much details in it. And that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So again, there's a place for this system. Here we go again. So you can really see them. Yeah, you can see the individual pebbles, man. That's crazy detail. You know what I mean? There's a place for this system. You know, again, racing, 100%, 100% for the racers. Um, Search and rescue on a plane, eh, perfect for it. You know what I mean? Or on a quadcopter for search and rescue type of missions, or if you're doing some kind of land surveying or something like that, and it's not, it's capped in that 4 or 5 mile range. You know what I mean? It'll be perfect for that point of view. You know what I mean? If you need that right now type of imagery, if you can't wait till you get to the ground and roll back the 4K camera, this will be the ticket for that. But as far as just the way that I fly, long range flying, just turning the plane loose, doing whatever I want to, not having to worry about turning the antennas or keeping my head a certain way. You know what I mean? It's not for that. This is not for that at all. This is for close range activities. You know what I mean? It really, really is. This is just made to stay close. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling, y'all. Let y'all finish watching this footage. My apologies. I could not get full sats on this flight, so you can't see the actual max distance on it. But I did. I would tell you this though. I did go about 3/4 of a mile out before it got really, really bad. But again, I'm gonna try this flight again. Once that RF meter comes in and I verify that it is pumping out 1,000 milliwatts, I'm going to change the antennas on the goggles. I got several other antennas I can try on, and I got the 10 turns myself. I got 5 turns. I got regular ummies. I'm gonna play around with the different combination of antennas and see what works better for it. Also, I'm gonna put a antenna extension on the back of the quad to raise it up a little bit higher because that mad mushroom is sitting. The battery is kind of blocking it when I turn around and come back to myself. That's why you're seeing that pretty much complete dropout because the shortness of that antenna. You know what I mean? You need a real long antenna on my quad anyway, just because of the way I got the battery set up and everything on the back of it. But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling. To be continued. Um, my opinion with HDZERO, I think it's great. I think it's a great product, but it's really about what you plan on using it for. If you're trying to fly at range, this ain't it. You know what I mean? I mean, not even which again, the terminology range from 20 years ago to today it has been highly changed. You got guys flying 2 miles and they're claiming long range. And, I'm old school, man. 15, 20 miles, 22 miles. that's long range, in distance. But anyway, I'm rambling, y'all. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of these little clips and stuff like that. And we'll most definitely will have a follow up video once I get the RF meter and change out those antennas and stuff. But again, though, I wouldn't hesitate on buying this gear. What I would recommend, though, for sure, if you got the HDZERO set up and you're doing a new build, don't have them URs connected when you're flashing the board, your flight controller. Don't do that. Most definitely not. I don't think I've seen that in the manual anywhere like that. But just from my experience, it'll mess stuff up. There's a chance that it would mess stuff up. As it y'all seen the screenshots, certain flight controllers would send stuff over to the video transmitter that would mess up the EEPROM in it. So if you're planning on updating your flight controller, make sure you disconnect them URs to the video transmitter. That way you won't run into this problem. And then if you do have a problem with it, I would have to say, man, HD0's customer support is awesome. So I mean that for me that will allow me to recommend this to anybody. You know what I mean? For just experimental purposes, or if you just want to get your feet wet in HD, or you just want to try it out. I mean, they knocked my problem out quick. It was no hoops I had to jump through, no red tape, no none of that stuff. It was very painless. They was nice, respectful, and they worked through it real, real fast. So I would most definitely still recommend this for anybody, but just keep in mind that this ain't geared up for range. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't see no point in having this on the plane, to be honest. Again, unless you're in those certain categories that I mentioned earlier. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all be blessed. I am out.